Yeah, g'day, Lost Yeti here. Welcome back to the channel. Today we have got some more bling to put on the 700 MT. So we've got the Midland Bikeplay Pro, which we're going to put on. Yes, I know the CF Moto does have GPS already. I'm getting some connectivity issues with my helmet, my phone, all that. It's just while it works, it's a little bit inconsistent. So I bought one of the Midland Bikeplay Pros, so we're going to hook that up today. Looks pretty straightforward and easy, so let's have a go. Alright, so here we go. We've got the Midland Bikeplay Pro. Let's see what's in the box. Oh, have you guys seen my new helmet? Senna Outlander. Very sexy. Right, no high pressure washing. No kidding, mate. Right, so we've got the unit itself here. Nice little plastic bag. Set that there. Some kind of mount. Oh, yep. Okay, I see. It's a handlebar mount. We're not going on the handlebars. Right, cool. Got the little, I don't know what you call it, CF Motos. Tenerays have them as well. There's a little bar across the windshield, which is where I'm going to mount it. Connection from the device to obviously some power plug. Okay, I see. So you've got two connections in here. We have USB connection, which I'm going to use. Plugs into there, and that goes into the unit. Simple as. And we also have connection for battery if you want to run it straight from the battery. At this stage I'm not going to do that. And a little sun shield which goes on top. Pretty cool. And of course, what every product should have that goes on a motorcycle, stickers. Gotta have stickers. Little screwdriver, some screws. I'm assuming that they're for something. I guess we'll might even look at the instructions. Who am I kidding? I'm not going to do that. And some bits and pieces, safety information. A little bit in here about Midland and what else they do. CB radios and stuff. Pretty cool. Walkie-talkies. What's on the back? This is what we got. Motorbike stuff. Very cool. Just the normal stuff, really, I guess, that comes with bits and pieces. Right, over to the bike. It hasn't been cleaned for a while, so we're going to mount it on here, which means I have to do away with my GoPro. That's no problem. We will do that. Alright, so now I've unpacked everything and had a little suss out. If you don't know what a suss out means, look it up. Right, so on the back of the mount, there already is the ram mount, ball mount, whatever you want to call it. That's already hooked up. Here's your power supply to the unit, which goes in there, and you can tighten the little nuts here like so. And that's the other part of the mount. This is the bit that goes on the mounting bar on the bike. 10mm nuts on there. Little shield. Now, this little bag with the screws, that's to screw the sun shield on the top of the little unit there, so all good. And your power supply, so USB, and then that plugs into the unit like so. So it all looks pretty simple. Let's get into it. Alright, so I've taken the windscreen off just to make this whole job a little bit easier. This is the mount we have to go on here. Same, we've got the 10mm. So I'll put that in my pocket. I couldn't find a 10mm socket because every good workshop man knows 10mm sockets have legs and they walk. Crap, and I just dropped that on the floor. Oh well, we'll get that in a minute. Right, so this all looks pretty easy. I need to lift that up a little bit. Oh, these screws or bolts look a little bit too long. We may have to cut those off. We'll deal with that if we have to. Okay, so we'll lift that up a little bit. If you don't have an adjustable windscreen, you might be in trouble here. although it's a ball mount, so I guess you can just move the unit to wherever suits. So we've got a washer and a nylock 10mm. On we go. And that one. And we'll just tighten those up. And now I've dropped the washer. Okay, so I found the washer and the nut. And we've got that sitting on there quite snug. Now, we'll see. Might need a spacer in there. There is a little rubber spacer in the box if this doesn't fit well enough. And we'll turn that around the right way, eh? As you can see, it's a nice sunny day here in the Waikato. We'll do that up so it's just nipped up, and then we'll do the other one. Do them both at the same time. That's getting a little bit tighter on there. That's good. Do the other side. And I know what you're thinking. Why am I doing this? Because the CF Moto already has a GPS on the screen which maps off your phone. Simple reason is I have too many devices hooked up to the bike. So we've got my helmet, and then we've got my phone, and then the CF Moto app as well, and it seems to be struggling a little bit. And this way too, I can just have maps as a separate piece of equipment to look at, and I can still have the screen up with the bike, so I can look at what's happening with the bike, change all the bits and pieces like traction control, all that stuff. In my mind, just a little bit easier. And you can never have too many gizmos, can you? Really? Now what I'm going to do with this, on the handlebar mount there's actually some rubber bungs, so I'm actually going to grab those now and put those on there. Just because they're here. There's one. Where's the other one? No, that's from that. There we go. Right here. Yeah, I know my shed's messy. Don't care. Quite welcome to come and tidy it up for me if you want. I'll let you. Aha, that won't work. I probably should have put that on earlier maybe. We'll loosen that off and put it on there. I think this is going to be the longest bit of mounting this because everything else kind of plugs in. Right, on you go. I guess you don't need these on, but otherwise they're just going to be thrown away. It's a waste. Okay, so we'll tighten that up. And yeah, I haven't posted any videos for a while. I've got some stuff there to edit, but it's like everything. Where do I find time? Actually, they're not going to work. I have to take those off. I don't know whether you can hear that. Someone going past on their bike. We're very lucky to live on a road where motorbikes pretty much are constantly past all weekend. Right, so that one's a bit tight. I'll do this one now. If you're using one of these ratchet spanners, they actually don't fit between the device and the nut. I just can't get it in there. Don't you see? Dog's there asleep. Over there is my race bike project. GPZ 600 RX, which is an aluminium framed GPZ 600. Another thing I probably won't have time to get speedily done. Anyway, right, back to this. Waffled on enough. So we'll center that. Iometer says that's about right. We'll I won't do that up totally tight yet. We'll just do it up tight enough so I can move it a little bit if I have to get everything in the right place. So if you're putting this on a CF Moto, you don't need the extra rubber spacer in there. That's all good. Yeah, that should do it. Right, so that's ready. We'll get part 2. Put that on. Just do that a little bit. Yep, it's not going anywhere. It's easy. Do I want that on the right or the left-hand side? Left-hand side. Because if I have to adjust it while I'm riding, it's not my throttle hand. Good thinking, mate. So we get the unit. We will put the sunshade on, which is here. Let's get it around the right way, eh? Nope, that way. Okay, we'll put that on. Get that little screw just in my socks here. We'll get rid of those, eh? You guys don't need to see those. Oh, lots of little screws to lose. Cool. Lucky I got my glasses on. Cool, these are fiddly. Holy hecker. Good grief. I would thoroughly recommend you do this on something so if you drop these screws you can find them again. Oh, I see. The old screws not quite through. Alright, come back in a minute. Alright, so we've got the little sunshade on. They give you a little screwdriver with it, which is okay, I suppose. Really fiddly. I couldn't really get that any kind of purchase on that little tiny one, so I'll get the other one out of the drawer. So that's on pretty well. Let's put the power cord on now. Is there up and a right and a left? Yep. So there we go. There is a certain way to put this on. You can see there's a little, that shape there's longer. It's a longer bit. There we go. Technical terms here. Only technical terms. So put that on, do up the little keepers by hand. They've got a little O-ring on there, so should provide some kind of IP rating. Right, so far so good. We will right, here we are. Not quite sure how we're going to do this. Maybe something like that. Okay, we'll just leave it all loose for now. Oh, that spare cord from riding around the countryside. Okay, so we've got that mounted. It's a little high for my liking, but that's okay. We can deal with that soon. We're going to have a lot of cord here, but anyway, we can deal with that soon. So we've got the USB cord here. Pretty self-explanatory. Actually, it says it on their power. USB DC 5 volt. So we'll plug that in. Like so. We shall connect that up. Like so. Tighten that on. Pretty important you do these actually tighten them on, because there's O-rings in there which will give it some sort of IP rating. Right, that's that. I should have brought the key out, eh? Righto, so we've got everything all hooked up now. Put the windscreen back on. We'll do the initial test. Not the initial test, sorry, the initial startup. And yeah, get this thing going. Now there is a Midland app which I don't believe that you need to run this, so we'll just go through the process of starting all this up and see whether we do. So language, yes, English please. So set the date and time, so 2026. And one thing to remember too is it does have a protective film on the screen. It doesn't look like it has, and it's a little bit of a trick to actually get a corner and take it off, but there is a protective film on here that you really need to take off before you start using this device. Yeah, something I found out. I didn't think the screen was working, but yeah, no, I took that off and she's mint. So month, we're in the 8th month, that's August for you people that can't count. that's me included. And what's that date? Must be the 16th today. So 16th hour, what time do we have? We have 8:31. So 7, 9, 8, oh, 8:31. Okay, next step. Cool, all right, so there we go. That's all tickety-boo. Now we have to go into my phone. Here we go in Bluetooth, Bikeplay, connecting. Bluetooth pairing request for Bikeplay Pro. Yep, that's the one we want. Pair. Okay, so the little Bluetooth lights come on the unit now. My phone's already got Android Auto installed. So if you're in Apple, you're in Apple CarPlay, obviously. So let's just go into Android Auto now. Android Auto, switch to Android Auto. Yep, please. Okay. So we're going. Doing all its thing. Android Auto, tips, yada yada, Bikeplay. Yep, done that. Well, that's too easy, man. That's real easy. Real easy. Okay, so this little dot here, this is your home button, which you can move around the screen. You can place it wherever you like. I'll probably put it down here, I think. So if you tap that, you go back, this brings up this, which takes you to your home page, your volume, your time monitoring, which I don't need because the CF Moto already has it, or your screen brightness. Which is quite cool. So you tap it again, it goes away, tap it, there it is. So we'll go back to the home screen. There's something on here that I really like, and it's this meter. It probably won't pick up anything because I'm in the shed. But I think that's quite cool. That'll look quite cool as you're riding along. I actually looked for something independent like that to put on my last bike, just to have, you know, the altitude and the direction, which I couldn't really find anything suitable. So this has it. This is pretty cool. So all your settings here. So it takes you straight back to your phone. Hit the home button again. Here we are. Volume, settings. So DVR, your resolution. I'm going to set that to 1080. Cool, that was easy. Back. Rear cam settings. So you can purchase a accessory kit which comes with 2 cameras and the tyre pressure monitoring. The cameras in that whole kit also gives you blind spot alert, which is in here, but I don't have that, so not yet anyway. We might look at that later, which I think is pretty neat. So you can calibrate all that in here. You know, I don't have any of that, so that's a little bit of a waste of time. Satellites, GPS will tell you how many satellites you're hooked up to, but like I said before, because I'm in the shed, that'll be none. Pretty neat. Right, so let's go to the home page. We'll go back to Android Auto. So in here too, you have, oh, you can get to your, oh crikey. Come on. So you can have your phone lists, your contacts, recent phone calls. So that's already downloaded as well. Contacts and keypad. So you can dial a number. Probably best to stop to do that, to be honest. And then Spotify's in here as well. Spotify's offline, that's right, it is. So all your playlists. Quite a smart little bit of kit. You can change, you can have the screen split by simply tapping that button there. So I can go straight back to the home or play my music. Right, now that's all hooked up. That was pretty easy, to be honest. You don't need the app, as long as you've got Android Auto on your phone, which most phones will have, or Apple CarPlay, of course. So that's the Midland, I always forget the name, the Midland Bikeplay Pro. Right, we'll we head out for a ride next and see how it goes out there. Cheers, you know the rules, eh? Dream less, do more. Life's short, man. I like the hat, everyone. Hey, you like that? So we're going to do a bit of a road test on the new Midland Bikeplay. So I'll turn the bike on. Well, it's powered up, so that's a good thing. Alright, very cool. Just hooked up to Bluetooth. That's on. Location's on. It's cool. Let's see how it goes with gloves. Android Auto. Oh yeah, works alright. It'll hook up soon. Come on. There you go, it's kicked into life. Let's go back to the home. Okay, we'll try it with my right hand. Okay, so gloves on. Still works. It's not as responsive without them, but anyway. Maybe it was just warming up because it seems to be a lot better now. Yeah, so initial thoughts on the Midland Bikeplay Pro. It's pretty good. Good value for money. Split screen. Perfect. What else are we going to do? We'll try the phone. And we'll go contacts. I know we'll go favourites. And oh, I don't know. Won't ring any of those guys. Well, it all works. You can't hear it, but the voice activation is still going, and it's asking me questions. Quite confusing. That's cool. Right. Well, everything all works. I like it. Back on the tar seal and don't have to stand up to keep this beast under control. My thoughts on the Midland Bike Display Pro. I've probably got the name wrong again. I actually think it's pretty good. On the screen now I'll chuck up a recommended retail price, what they sell for here in New Zealand. If you're keen on one, pop into any bike shop, tell them you want to have a look at one, or want one, or want to talk to someone about one, and they'll help you out. Bike shops here in this country are pretty good. It does everything I wanted it to do, so yeah, I'm happy. You know what, eh? Dream less, do more. Life's short, man.